Hello and welcome back to the country. Now, when a game gets successful, they usually get a sequel, but sometimes they are cash grabs to put it simply. But then there are the cases where they do everything to improve the last game, even little things. They continue the story in a meaningful way, amp up the stakes, and thus we get an amazing sequel like now Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. Get it? Because it's like Conquest. Anyways, it's a game released a year after the first one, and is honestly one of the highest praised sequels in video game history. But why is that? Well, let's find out. Now, the story this game does have is that after the events of the last game, King K. Rool became Captain K. Rool and decided to kidnap Donkey Kong himself and bring him to Kremland Island. Due to this, Diddy Kong wants to save him, but Cranky Kong is like, oh hell no. So Dixie Kong also joins the journey, and thus they go on and save Donkey Kong. Now, gameplay wise, Diddy Kong is the same as he was last game, the fast one. But Dixie Kong pretty much breaks the game. Now, she's slower, and just like Donkey Kong, she carries stuff above, but with her hair, she can glide, and this helps so much. Where you know how I said last vid that Diddy Kong was the one I preferred and basically played him all the time? Well, let's throw that out of the window because Dixie is now the main one. Because with her gameplay, there's no real point in using Diddy Kong. Another new gameplay gimmick is the team up throw, where you pick up another Kong and throw them to reach new places you couldn't reach. Admittedly speaking, these are mainly used for secrets, but it's a unique little gimmick. Now, just like last game, there are some good old-fashioned animal buddies, and there are some returnees and of course new ones. So just like last time, let's rank it again!
Okay.
At number 8 is Glimmer. He's just a copy homework of Squawks from the last game, but now underwater. I love having a seizure underwater! At number 7 is Quawks, who is basically like a disabled version of Squawks. All he does is descend. Oh, but you can control the speed of his descend. Okay, but like, you could just use Dixie Kong. There's no real point of making another parrot. He's so irrelevant that he actually doesn't even appear in the credits of the game. That's how much people didn't care about him, goddamn. At number 6 is Clapper, who is technically not really an animal buddy, but is considered one. All he does is that he cools the water in 2 levels. One of them he has to cool down the boiling hot water so that you can swim in it. The other one he makes the water frozen so that you can walk on it. He's overall useful, plus the noise that he does when you jump him is just amazing. And now at number 5 is Ungard again. Now, the 3 returnees, or at least somewhat, all got a updated gimmick that if you hold one of the buttons, you charge a special attack where they do a extra long charge or jump. And Ungard basically just has that. To be honest, I don't really have anything else to add about Ungard. He's just the same as he was last game, so sorry, Ungard. Maybe in the 3rd game you'll become better. At number 4 is Rambi, actually. Like, he really fell off. Mainly due to the fact that I just didn't really care about him in this game. Like, at least in Donkey Kong Country 1, he is in, like, the first level. That's how you get to know him. But in this game, he just kind of appears occasionally, and even though he's still a tank and has a charge ability, I just didn't really care about him in this game, so yeah, sorry Rambi. At number 3 is Ratley, who is just Winky, but extra long. Actually, Winky was actually meant to be a part of this game, but for some reason people complained that Winky's hitbox was not good, which to be honest I didn't really experience issues with that when I played it. And thus, they just replaced Winky with a extra vertical version of him. Overall, I enjoy Ratley. I do think he's the better of the two, just because of the fact that in this game, you know, vertical movement, some levels is like more important. So overall, I think he is pretty good. At number 2 is Squitter, who, honestly speaking, gimmick-wise, he's the most unique animal buddy. He can shoot 2 types of spider webs, one for basically attacking enemies, and the other one to make a temporary platform. And really, there are so many unique situations with him that really, he's just a pretty unique one. Plus, he got that drip that even a certain trumpet man got upset over it.
Hey, take those sneakers off! No! Take them off, I said! No!
And at number 1 is Squawks. He actually became good. You fly as him and shoot coconuts at enemies. There's even a race scene with him, and he's just pretty fun to control. So really, I actually crown him as the best one. Now the levels are all actually unique, unlike the last game. Really, there's a level with, like, say, gator barrels. That exists. One where you ride on a roller coaster as a ghost chases you. And even a marathon level where you play as the main 5 animal buddies. It's pretty good. What's also great and has been improved upon is the music. It's amazing. Of course, everyone knows Sticker Bush Symphony, one of the best video game musics of all time, but there was also Haunted Chase, In a Soul-Bound Land, and Forest Interlude, and many more amazing songs. Now back to the levels. While I like most of them, as they are fairly creative in nature, one level type that I honestly hate are the beehive levels. In these, there are honey, which you stick to, and most of the time you just spend slowly wall jumping with them, and even when there's a neat idea, like a chase which shows the world's boss, you don't really even see the boss as you run away with Rambi. So, yeah. And another thing that this game improves upon is how you 100% it. It's actually good. So remember like the bonus locations which were usually within walls, well now the majority are not within walls and now are in bonus barrels. And there's 3 types of bonus rooms. The one where you have to find the treasure, the one where you have to defeat all the enemies to get the treasure, and a one to collect all the stars or a certain amount of them to get the treasure. And the treasure, usually, are creme coins. There's a total of 75 creme coins. Now, in almost every world, you can talk to the guy named Clubba, who, if you gave 15 creme coins, he would give you a secret level in the secret world, which is called the Lost World. Real creative, guys. And thus, there's 5 secret levels, which help you get to the true ending, but we'll get to that later. Because there's another collectible, which are the DK coins. Because in every level, there's an extra very well hidden DK coin, which mainly you collect to get a bonus little ending, where if you collect all 40 of them, you become the top member of the best video game heroes in Cranky Kong's cabin, which honestly is a weird ending, but it's still fun getting these DK coins. Yeah, sure, there is one within a bonus room which does suck, and I do want to mention in the Lost World there are bonus rooms with DK coins because you can't get creme coins within Lost World levels. But I mean, there's a DK coin in a bonus room where you have to get a creme coin, but there's a hidden DK coin, which, you know, that's not fun. But still, it's pretty fun collecting both of these. But now, it's on to the bosses. Because, compared to the last game, the bosses are actually good. Crow is a fairly decent first boss, throwing his eggs back at him. Cleaver is a sword who you just jump across him a lot of times above the lava and then hit him with cannonballs. Cudgel, at least I think that's how you pronounce it, is just a black recolor of Clubber. Okay, and you just dodge his bats and throw TNTs at him. Yippee! Kingsinger is literally just the re-sprites of Queen Bee from the last game, but you play as Squawk, so that's neat. Even though you can only hit him on his stinger, which is basically impossible, but you can still do it. And Creepy Crow is a pretty mid refight with Crow, but now he's a ghost. Ooh! But then, just like in the last game, the Rule himself has the best fight. Captain K. Rool is an amazing gauntlet of his attacks. Seriously, he constantly shoots at you, sometimes becomes a ghost, sometimes he's super fast, sometimes he's super slow, and sometimes he just throws weird things which just play with your controls. For one of them inverts your controls somehow, or one of them makes you slow, and he constantly tries to suck you up. But he usually throws out one of his cannonballs and you throw them back to his gun, which explodes. And after doing this 9 times, you defeat him and Donkey Kong escapes and sends him to the ocean, where sharks do get their feedings. But that's not all, because if you beat all 5 of the secret levels in the secret world, you get the true final boss, which is just a basically just dodging lots of attacks from Captain K. Rool, and then you throw one cannonball back at him, and that's it. You defeat him, he goes into a wormhole, which destroys the entire Kremlin Island, and he leaves on his ship, plotting his revenge, which shall come soon. And that was DKC2 Diddy's Conquest. It's really the perfect example of making a video game sequel. Overall, I understand why people love this game and consider it the best Donkey Kong Country game. Obviously, we will see that when I replay Donkey Kong Country 3, but the next video won't be actually Donkey Kong Country 3. Instead, there will be another video before that, and then we'll see the famous Kiddy Kong. Anyways, I hope you have a great dinner, and I'll see ya later.